Hey everybody, Derek Whitehead here. Hopefully this video is getting to you before we do the training on how to quickly and easily get from 100,000 to 500,000 and even up to 1 million from your bank. So you can start your own profitable business or skyrocket an existing one, or even use it to take your company public if that's your goal, or use this money to do whatever you need. So ever since people have been registering for this class, which is way over registered by now, by the way, I've gotten really nice emails and calls from people saying, hey man, congratulations for building a multi-million dollar company and raising $2 billion. How'd you do it? Right? There's this disbelief that getting $500,000 or even $1 million from your bank, starting your own profitable business, scaling it to the next level and possibly going public, if that's your goal, is really difficult. It's perceived to be kind of impossible for most people. And that is simply because most people have the wrong idea of making money, real money. And the truth of the matter is, at least from my experience, is that it's the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest thing to do in the world. Well, not in the world, but it's very easy to do. I kind of learned all this through a bizarre turn of events and series of mistakes that I made. I might tell you the story in a minute, but first let me show you a little something. Actually, there's some really good content that I want to share with you. Most people do things totally backwards. They save, then they do business. That's backwards. You don't save your 401k. You don't go in and say, I'm going to save up my 401k and go into business. I'm going to save up my money so I can get my licensing, or I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, then try to do business. You'll never get the money to do business. You need some bulk money. You need a lump sum of money, right? So that's what you call non-performance income, number one. And number two, other people's money, other people's ideas, and other people's efforts. Now, I know there's some things you may not have heard before, or maybe you've heard them before, but I'm here to explain them to you fully. The first thing is, you go in, you say, this is what I want to do. You add up all the money that you need to do it, and you write it down, get yourself a summary, and then you go in and just get the money. You don't save for it. You go in and get other people's money to do it, and you don't put your money at risk. Number one. Number two, rich people don't perform. Rich people don't go out. They don't do work. They don't do singing. They don't do dancing. They only do these things if it's something that they love doing, but they don't do it because they need the money. They don't do it because they need the money. That is breaking the golden rule of money and finance, right? So let me give you a little insight. Now I'm going to elaborate a lot more on this in the video, in the webinar. Let's say you go and you get a corporation. The corporation is not you. The corporation is a person. So let's just say the corporation is named Willie. Willie goes in. Willie finds out what Willie wants. Maybe Willie needs 100,000, 200,000, 300, 500,000, $1 million. And Willie goes in to the bank, puts the paperwork together, and when Willie does the best that he can do, but sometimes your baby isn't always as pretty as you think it is it? Well, Willie does the best that he can do, and what Willie does is, if something happens that goes wrong, if it's you, you're dead in the water 7 years, 10 years, maybe bankruptcy, who knows what. Rich people don't do that. They make a lateral or they go up. They make a lateral, they go up. So if Willie, the corporation, screws up, they just cancel Willie and they walk back in the next day and they say, hey, I've got Leroy Corporation. Can you give Leroy some money? It's as simple as that. And I'm going to elaborate on how to do this and how it's done. There's no need to go out and do marketing and go out and do, I'm going to do car sales. I'm going to do this and that. You don't do any of that. All you got to do is go in and get some money for Willie. I'm going to teach you the basic steps on how to do that, right? I'm going to show you and illustrate a lot more in the webinar. So please have a pencil and a paper, and I'm going to show you some some advanced moves that only the rich talk about. Because the basics are that they're basically all the same. It doesn't matter whether you're $1 million company or a large company, small company. The rules and the basics of this system are the same. It's just that you don't know about it. So you just need to know the components of what this is all about. So one day I want to tell you a little story about me, a little quick story. One day I was accidentally stumbled upon this, like most people do, because the rich people are not going to teach you this. The game is to be sold and not told. And by the way, you're not going to hear any of this on the internet. You might hear a little piece of this, a little piece of that, but is anyone going to put this total puzzle together for you? I don't think so. I'm here to do that. So I stumbled across this information, and next thing you know, I applied it, and I couldn't believe I was a little hesitant because I wasn't sure if it was going to work. But after I applied it, and saw a rich person over here, John Noble and John Carden, and you'll find out who those people are later on. The multi-billionaires, owns half of La Jolla, owns half of Deleuze, and I was lucky enough to run into these people, and they spilled beans here and a little here and a little there. And I put it together and I applied it to myself. And after I did it myself, I was like, whoa, I can't believe this works. So now I have all these people I started teaching, and I just testing it out on them, right? So I said, I told a friend about it. A friend of mine said, nah, let me see. I can't believe that works. I said, well, check it out. I taught him a little bit, gave him a little bit of information. He came back and said, he started telling, he had some clients, some people he knew that were athletes and different people I would meet up, and I would give them the information. And they were like astounded, like, man, I can't believe, where have you been hiding this information? I said, I'm not hiding it. It's just not meant to be told. Now, here's why this matters to you. About over 30 years ago, I said to some friends of mine, I said, let me show you how to get money from the bank and grow multi-million-dollar companies. They all ended up wanting me to teach them how to do it, and brought their friends and offered me some serious money if I would teach them. And as I said, they were a little skeptical. They were always skeptical. They're always hesitant about things that they are not generally accustomed to doing. It's always a learning curve, and people think, well, it's got to be difficult. No way they're going to give you this money. I'm like, yeah, they do give you this money, right? So I generated 7 clients, and that's when I realized, I said, you know what? This is what people want because it works. Every client that I did it for, it worked. I said, now, you know what? People are tired of being handed out a manual to do it by themselves, right? This gets them nowhere. Here, buy my course, and now go out and go use the course. And now you have a manual. Well, now you're saying, well, what do I do with this, right? I learned that because I was doing it myself. I was like, wait a minute, I got this. I paid thousands of dollars for this manual. And here I'm saying, well, who's going to guide me? There's nobody I could call and say, hey, can you help me? And could you get me through this or whatever? Even if they had a little knowledge, but nobody's teaching all of it. But I mean, I would get pieces here, maybe how to build a corporation, maybe how to get corporate credit, maybe how to go in and what the bank wants from an underwriter standpoint. Nobody put it all together for me, right? That's why so few people know how to make real money. That's why so few people are rich, right? They want somebody to do it for them. People want somebody to help them. They either want somebody to guide them through, or they want somebody to do it for them, right? So ultimately, most people want the freedom to be able to do it themselves. They just want someone to do it with them, give them the guidance. So I decided I'm going to give them the guidance. I decided, after years and years, I said, I've done well. I'm going to give them the guidance. I said, I'm going to help them out because the people that I helped before, the clients that I helped before, they would call me up and say, okay, Derek, I know you explained it to me, but what about this? I said, and I picked the phone up and said, yeah, let me tell you how to get around that. And let me tell you how to get around this. And it was tremendously successful, right? So what I'm here to tell you is that this is such a tremendous opportunity for people to have this opportunity to be shown everything from A to Z and everything in between, right? Because with my guidance, people can acquire, with my guidance, they can acquire the right skills. Then they can go to the bank and they can get whatever they want from the bank. It's just a matter of knowing what the bank wants. It's a matter of knowing what the bank wants. So you can walk in, you can say, hey, not that 5,000, 10,000. Oh, I got a credit card. Now you got to wait. Then you build up the credit card. Then you got to wait. Or maybe you'll take your 401k and put that at risk, which is a no-no. I'm talking about going in, getting 100, 200, 300, $500,000. Not getting some credit cards where now you can earn some valuable trips, and letting credit use you instead of you using credit. I'm going to elaborate on that. How do you use credit and don't let credit use you? Some people choose to skyrocket their own business, right? Some people choose to buy a home. Some people choose to buy a car. You do whatever you want with it. It's not up to me to tell you what you want to do with it. It's up to me to show you how to get the money to do what you want, right? And that's perfectly fine if you want to buy a car or whatever you want to do with it. I'm just here to share my knowledge with you on how to go around all of this. You got to build the business. You don't have to build anything. Just walk into the bank. I used to say, I did one seminar, I said to a guy, sir, what are you trying to do? He said, well, I'm trying to build my my business, my mobile detailing business. I said, what do you need to do that? He said, well, I need to save up and get my truck. He says, I need to save up and then get my licensing. He says, I need to save up and get this and this and this. I said, okay, hold it. I said, ma'am, sitting next to him, why is he doing all of this? And she said, to get money, of course. I said, okay. I said, sir, why are you doing all this? He said, it's exactly what she said, to get money. I said, well, sir, what if I was to tell you to walk in the bank and just ask for some money for Willie? He couldn't understand it. He couldn't believe it. And when I elaborated on it further, then a light went off. I said, light went off, because no one ever taught you this, right? So if you want to go in and get the money, do whatever makes you happy. That's what money is for, to go in and do whatever makes you happy, right? Okay, the bag now, the question is, what are the right skills? The right skills. What's the secret sauce to this? I'm going to elaborate on that in this webinar. To the T, I'm going to elaborate on this. If you get on a corporation, then you have the qualifications you need to get any amount of funding from your bank that you want. You can use this money to do whatever you need, to start your own profitable business, to buy a home, a car, whatever you want, right? That's what you want to do. That's what I'm going to teach you. No beating around the bush, no buy my product, and none of this. The webinar's free. What can you lose? Free. And nobody, I guarantee you, when you finish with this webinar, you're going to say, I never heard this before, because you're not meant to hear it before. You're not meant to have this information. If I have a Bentley, you have a Bentley, And the guy beside me and on the right and the left, we're all at the stop sign in Bentleys at the red light. What makes me special? What makes me special? Nothing makes me special. That's why everybody is not meant to be rich. 85% are meant to be poor. 10% are meant to rule the world. And I have no problem with that. And 5% know what's going on. And I'm here to teach you what's going on. Now, you can look for this on the internet. After you see what I'm going to teach you in this webinar, you can look all over the internet. You can try to find it. You're not going to find it. I look forward to walking you through exactly how to get the money from the bank and giving you the same examples of my business, walking you through how I raised over $2 billion in a really short amount of time. Management of $2 million. Real estate, hedge funds, the whole nine. I'll show you all of this and more in the webinar. I'm going to show it all to you in the webinar, right? Who's going to teach you how to go in and go from zero to hero? Nobody, right? So before we get on the webinar, and I want to work this out for you, I want to show you some things and some ground materials, so you'll be better prepared to take advantage of the information I'm going to share with you, right? So I just want to walk you through, let's say, the foundation. I want to walk you through the seed capital. Let's put it this way. There's seed capital, there's foundation money, and then there's springboard funding. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to kind of give you not only the 3 foundations, but I want to give you the driving test so that you'll be able to drive on the road and understand not only how to drive, but how to also get to where you're going, because you know the rules of the road, the rules of the road. And there's also rules in business. A business should do 2 things. It should not only bring in revenue, but it should also be worth something that you can sell. That's not even the tip of the iceberg of what I'm going to show you in this class. So join the video and join the webinar. And like I said, we had about 1,000 people, and it's gone way over that. We had 1,000 seats, it's gone way over that. So, join now so that you don't get locked out. You have to get on the next video. Okay. So once I clarify some things and lubricate your mind, right, on this class and how to get the biggest bang from your dollar, which, wait a minute, metaphorically speaking, the webinar is free. So there's no dollar. All right, there's no dollar. But anyway, I've enjoyed making this video for you guys, and I really look forward to taking you to the next level and showing you things that you've never heard before. I'm sure there's a lot of things you've never heard before, and a light bulb is going to come on, and you're going to say, I cannot believe this guy gave us this information for free, right? So I look forward to talking to you on the webinar. Please show up early because it's overbooked, right? I'm using a special webinar platform that holds up to about 1,000 people. I got, I don't know, maybe over 2,000 people registered for the video right now. So please show up early, about 10, 15 minutes early, and we'll get cracking. And when it's time, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, I'll send you some reminders beforehand. Okay, you're not going to see this on the internet. I guarantee you. Okay, nobody's going to show you from beginning to the end on how to get that money. All right, I look forward to talking to you soon.